are in Lee, Nebraska, my hometown, my farm, and this is where I grew up.
I think we're about 7 or 8 years from being a pioneer farm family where we'd have it in our family for 100 years.
My great-grandparents actually were founding members of the little community church just north of here a mile.
We are just about 10 miles south of Ansley, and this is what my husband and I are hoping will be our future homestead.
My parents started buying ground in Lynch, Nebraska when they were first married in 1960. When Dad first started, Mom and Dad were teachers, and they were building a ranch on teacher salaries.
I've always loved being outside. My chores after school when I was younger was the chickens, and I'd usually forget to feed those because I was either feeding the cattle or feeding the pigs and doing some of the other jobs. So I got grounded a few times for forgetting to do the chickens.
Well, I would go get eggs. We had egg-laying chickens, we had pullets, we had a swine operation. So as a young child, it was just fun.
That little house is where my grandparents started. They were high school sweethearts and married, and when they were 18, my grandma raised 3 daughters in that house.
Yep, I'm gonna have a boy in June, so that's gonna throw a new interesting wrench in. I think every farm and ranch family, really it is about generational and passing it on. So to be adding that next generation is so exciting.
And through their lifetime, they built a ranch, and we were unfortunate to lose my father when he was 56 years old 32 years ago. They had 4 boys that have taken over operation of that ranch. We thought we were smart enough to run one ranch that we'd buy our own.
Because of my experience non-bank-wise with our operation and pairing that with my career experience, it just has been something that's married together really well, and the bank's been super supportive.
I never thought I was going to be a banker, and my grandfather actually a number of years ago, and so I've been at the bank now over 16 years, and he said, I think it's really neat that my granddaughter is an ag lender.
Our farm would be probably a 4th or 5th generation farm. It's awesome to work at FNBO where we're, of course, the 6th generation. A number of our customers are their 3rd and 4th and 5th generations as well.
When we sit down to talk with a customer, we're living what they're going through. So if they're in the middle of drought, we're dealing with the same things. I've always told young people coming in that it's a lot easier to teach how to lend money than it is to teach agriculture.
As I look back, I get to help people live their dream and work with them to create their vision that they've always had.
As a Lawrence family, and Clark is in their 6th generation, have it 165 years. Really, I feel the bank was rooted in agriculture. Bruce loved to drive around and look at feedlots.
Banks are core to the community, and this wouldn't happen without them. It takes so much leverage, it takes so many dollars to operate in today's world. So you've got to have a bank that will be there to back you up.
Once upon a time, people tried to separate more like work and then family. And nowadays I feel like they're intertwined. And their work is their family and their family is their work, because these are lifelong legacies and farms and operations.
I would not take my job at the bank until I knew that I could still be a customer of the bank.
What's in the DNA? I don't know what it takes, but there's a special sauce that it takes to put up with drought in the summer and blizzards in the winter. But the people that do it love it, and they do it because it's a lifestyle that they want to be part of.
We're sitting here in northwest Kansas today, and the wind's not blowing for a change. Majority of the time, you're out here fighting the battles of the elements every day, whether it's heat, wind, blizzards, cold, you name it. These guys are out taking care of livestock, feeding the world.
In order to be in agriculture, you have to just think differently. People in agriculture are so resilient that they just keep after it every day. And
we have changing weather conditions, changing markets. We have local, we have domestic, we have international. We have things that are outside of our control. And every day I give my customers an applause of how they can take all those different changing factors, mitigate the risk as much as they can, and make decisions.
It is a partnership. I always say we always want everybody to be rowing the boat the same way. And so there is tough times. It's not always just an upward, profit isn't always an upward slant to the right. So there's some years that are better than others. So we like to be with people that are going to be there through thick and thin. They'll do everything that they can do. We'll do what we say we'll do. And most of the time it always works out. We're always rowing the boat the same way.
Just here to tell you things that you already know. When you feel all this
my opinion and my relationships with the customers really matter. You know, it's not something where you just someone looks at a balance sheet and makes a decision.
I think our world today is asking us always to continue to do more with less, and our customers are great stewards of the land and its resources, and they take great pride in that. So they're always looking to do better. We're looking to do better, everything that we can do.
The bank's there for their customers through the good and the bad. They've been there with me through the good and the bad. And again, they're family.
Banking is evolving. There's technology is in rapidly increasing and helping bring different products and services to customers. The more that we can be out and visit with our customers, know their operations, then it's just a lot easier to communicate the things that we can offer them to help them.
People that have been with us for a while understand who we are, and they expect us to do the same for them, to understand who they are.
do I even know you? And maybe I'm just here to tell you the things that you already